Hey, greetings. Welcome to Performance Reviews, where I give you the review from the technician's point of view. And today I'm going to show you how to clean like a carpet pro at home. So truck-mounted carpet cleaning is generally the preferred solution, but a lot of us don't have time, schedules don't allow, and it is expensive. And really, if you have any sort of carpet in your house, you're probably going to want all this stuff at home anyways. So let's talk about what we have here. I'm going to talk about the equipment, how I use it, the process, and then we're going to show the end results here. So first of all, there's one or two pieces of equipment you want. This is a carpet daisy, and I'll have links to all this stuff off Amazon. This is a SEBO Duos machine. This is a CBR machine, but for the home, you can see it's got some nice counter rotating brush rollers. And then I have just a sprayer from Home Depot. Really any of these are the same, but you want to use this for your pre-treat. And then for pre-treat, I'm either going to use some sort of alkaline or alcohol-based chemical, and then if it's a biological stain, we're going to use an enzyme-based pre-treat. So that's really dependent on what you're doing. So like pet urine, food, this, oils, general cleaning maintenance, this. And then a couple other things here as well. As far as the solution we're going to use in the machine, I've been using this 2001 stuff, and it is just a very generic alkaline-based carpet cleaner. Nothing wrong with it, but nothing truly amazing. The other one I like to use is the Lindhouse. I really prefer to use this when we're doing just like a quick spot or really tough stains. This actually works pretty darn well. So I like to use one of those, and then if I'm using an alkaline-based cleaner, then, which by the way, the Lindhouse is not. This does not need to be rinsed. This needs to be rinsed. So what I will then do is rinse it with soap-free Procyon. And I have a whole video on Procyon by itself. This is just like a mild acid with cleaning capabilities. Anyways, it's absolutely great. Will take the crunchies out of your carpet. If you have like a crunchy carpet, this will help make it nice and smooth. It comes as a powder or a liquid. I just buy the powder. Again, I'll have a link below to that. So those are the chemicals involved. And then the machine involved is going to be my Carpet Express C4. Now, I have a whole video reviewing this thing. Since that video review, I ended up putting a new motor in it. It's got a central vacuum motor shoved in it, along with a new pump. So it's a pretty darn good machine. It holds 3 gallons of solution. So most home extractors hold half a gallon. This holds 3 gallons. So that's a great machine. You could also use like a Rug Doctor X3 or a Bissell Big Green machine in its place. It's important to thoroughly vacuum before you start. You want to go north, south, east, west, that sort of thing, do kind of a cross pattern, and you want to pick a strong vacuum. So if you have a bagless machine, something like that, that is not acceptable. You're going to get terrible results if you do that. You want to use something from the Carpet and Rug Institute's approved list, or something strong, SEBO or Miele typically. In this case, I'm using my SEBO D4. So now that the room has been fully vacuumed, let's go ahead and pre-treat. Again, going in a crisscross pattern, we're going to thoroughly coat the room. Then after that, we're going to go to specific stain spots. And if you know what the stain is, that's going to help you. In this case, we have some urine. We're going to treat that with an enzyme. Okay, the area has been pre-treated. And what we're going to do now is we are going to agitate with the CBR machine. Again, we're going to be going in a crisscross pattern. Hopefully you see that as pattern emerging in carpet cleaning. You want to go over each area twice. You want to let the pre-treat sit for 10-20 minutes and let it really soak into the carpet. I've filled up my big blue carpet cleaner with the shampoo we're going to use. We are probably going to do 2 or 3 wet passes and then a dry pass. All right, we've done our pass with our main shampoo, and now the instant gratification happens. We get to see just how bad this water was. Oh yeah, it is pretty darn dark right there as I spill some of it. But yeah, the darker, the worse it is. And the thing you want to see is, you want to know if there's any sand or anything like that in there. You want to watch out for like excess pet hair or anything at this point. Generally speaking, your vacuum should get all your pet hair. Sand, your vacuum cleaner should get, but a lot of them don't get that stuff. So if you don't have a good vacuum cleaner, this is where you're really going to notice it. All right, now it's time to rinse it with Procyon. We're going to do 1 to 2 passes with the Procyon, and then we're going to do 1 dry pass. That seems to work best with this machine. Weaker machines, you probably want to do another dry pass. All right, we just made our last few runs of, did the whole room dry as well as the Procyon. We collected quite a bit. Now this has been dumped. This is our second time. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. Yeah, it's probably not going to show up on camera just how dirty that is, but you can tell it's very dirty by looking at it. You can also see, I guess I want to show the intake of my machine right here. It's a little bit of fuzz, but almost very little. You can see how little pet hair. You know, I have 2 dogs. That's how little pet hair there was that whole room. So and that's what you should expect. A little bit of fuzz, but not very much. You know, when you empty your dryer and there's the fuzz, you should never have that much fuzz in your carpet cleaner. Okay, you can see there, this is like, yeah, you can see that that's the dirt and the grease that we're really trying to get out, and that's what your carpet cleaner got out. You know, depending on the humidity and where you live, here in the Southwest, this will take 4 to 6 hours to dry with a good machine. If you have a machine that does less extraction, you could expect maybe 8 to 12 hours. So it's almost 9 o'clock at night, and that's my favorite time to shampoo, is to do this. Let this air out where nobody's going to walk on it. If your room has a ceiling fan, turn that on. Let it just air out. Whenever it is very dry to the touch, that's when you want to take your vacuum cleaner and vacuum the carpet. Now, if there are any stains that are still there, of course, you want to go over those again. And that's where owning a good machine comes in handy. Because if you have a rental, you just have it for like 24 hours and you're probably going to get rid of it after that. Where owning that equipment, you can go back and redo it. And in my size house, when I've had the carpet cleaned, it's usually about $350, $400 a pop. If you invest about $1,000 in carpet cleaning equipment, your return on that investment is going to be, after you clean your house, 3-4 times. So it will pay for itself eventually. And considering you're supposed to shampoo your carpet about every 3 to 6 months, again, that will pay for itself well within the warranty period of any equipment. So it is worth doing. Now this is soaking wet, but as soon as it dries tomorrow, we'll turn on the camera and I'll show you what this looks like. I want to take a minute to talk about carpet cleaning equipment. A lot of people will go to Walmart or Target and buy the first machine they see, and the problem is all those machines are basically trash. Most of those are designed to last like 8 working hours on a lot of those Bissells, meaning you're just going to be able to do your house like twice, maybe 3 times, and then get rid of it. If you have an apartment, maybe you'll get a little longer out of it, but they're really not meant to last. And a lot of those, they just have very weak suction motors. Those weak suction motors in those machines aren't going to do nearly as good of a job at extracting as some of the other mid-level push-behinds like what I have. Of course, what I have is no truck mount, but it is significantly better. You're getting 2-3 times the suction of any of those other machines, along with a more durable machine. So I've covered the Rug Doctor X3, I've covered the Bissell Big Green machine, and I've covered the Carpet Express C4. Those are my 3 recommendations for at-home extractors. If you just have 1 or 2 rooms, you could probably get away with the pneumatic George as well. But those are my recommendations. So make sure you have a good machine like that. And you're going to see all sorts of gimmicks, you know, in the $300-400 range. Again, you get into that $400 to $600 range, you get into a quality machine. But under that, you're not going to get into a quality machine, unfortunately. And today, in 2025, you have to remember these machines not only are a vacuum cleaner, they have to agitate, and then they have to spray water and recover it. So there's a lot more going on in these machines. However, almost all carpet cleaners neglect filtration and neglect sound insulation. So be aware some of these you're going to wear hearing protection while you're using them. Well, it's a new day, and it's time to see how this looks. I think it looks all right. We're going to vacuum this now that it's dry and really see how it is. Of course, I'm going to use my SEBO D4 because power. Well, that really came out well, and the carpet feels and looks a lot fresher. So I hope this helps you shampoo your carpet at home, or at least gives you an idea of what maybe you should get involved with in purchasing. I'll have links in the description that benefit the channel. If there's a carpet tip you have for us, leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day.